Figure it out.
Hello, this is Adam Koralik with Figure It Out Productions. The following video is part of our Quick Shoot series. Hey guys, it's Adam here. As I'm sure you're painfully aware of, I recently took a trip out to the UK. This is my buddy Ben, as you can see right there, aka Shen Muso. Do check out his channel. So while I was in the UK, Ben there took me down to Wales, and Wales has a couple of cool stores. I did a video already on one called Next Level Games. The other one is this place. This is Super Tomato, or Tomato. Now, I actually visited this store like 2 years ago, and I did a video on it at the time, but I wanted to go back. The owner is a real nice guy, and he actually will be doing the tour all by himself, so you don't have to actually hear my voice the entire time. There he is. What a good guy. He's so great. Yeah, awesome. Enjoy the tour. So, all right, begin. What do you got for us? Let's show us the first case here.
As always, the first cabinet by the door is our Gameboy stuff. It's our most popular format. It always has been. We've been doing this for nearly a decade now, and it is still, I mean, it's all about Pokemon. So that is consistently the big deal. We always have a lot of Game Boys, a lot of reconditioned original DMGs, usually a lot of Game Boy Colors, Game Boy Advances, all the usual jazz, and many games to go with them.
Nice. Keep going. What else you got?
Alright, so as we move on, this is our N64 stuff, which is our other big format that we do. We've got a few of the Pikachu consoles at the moment, a few standard machines, boxed machine, all your usual stuff, your Pokemon Stadium, Pokemon Stadium 2, Smash Brothers, Banjo-Kazooie, Banjo-Kazooie.
You guys got that, or is that imported?
No, we got it.
Oh,
Funny
okay.
enough, your one is slightly different. The American one has translucent green plastic inside the cartridge slot.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
something you'd never ever notice, but it's the coolest thing in the world. Us is just like plain black inside. We got Mario Party games.
The Crystal Xbox.
We do. You know,
so
that
jealous.
stuff. Really?
We never got that.
Whatever floats your boat, man.
The Canadians got it, but in North America, that was the only way to get it in North America.
A little bit of rare PS1 stuff there. I mean, there's a Legend of Dragoon. There's is there a Star Ocean in there? Mega Man Legends, all that stuff.
Very cool. All sorts of good stuff in there.
Have you ever had a debug Xbox in? The green ones?
No. We have had a Mega CD development kit, but that's as development kitty as we get.
Nice.
This is our NES stuff. As you would imagine, every NES we have to refurbish. We put a lot of effort into that. It's that whole mechanical fault with the cartridge mechanism. It's not really an electrical thing. It's simply a stupid design flaw.
Can you explain why it says NES version? Because ours doesn't say that.
Initially ours says Mattel version for the first version of the machine, and bizarrely the other distinction is it has a different texture to the plastic on top. Then we get the NES version. As you know, in Europe there are 2 separate NES regions as well, which gets quite confusing for games compatibility.
PAL and CCAM?
Let's just go with that.
Alright, why not?
There's PAL A, and what's the other European regions? PAL B, or I need more coffee. The problem.
That's fine.
You know, but there's basically games that will work in some European countries and games that will work in other European countries, and then American games, and so on and so forth.
Sounds easy to remember. It's very convenient.
My favourite, the Mega Drive and Genesis stuff. It's my personal, I guess.
Oh yes, mine too. Yes, I broke my teeth on the Mega Drive. Yeah, definitely.
I was a Super Nintendo guy and got into, you know, obviously you always have one format or the other.
Go on. Somebody tried to get in the store.
I'm just going to lock that door for 2 seconds.
Yeah, all right. Ben, why don't you tell us what's in this cabinet?
Yeah, okay. Well, here we've got the Ataris. You can see the 2600. There's a small version of it there. I don't know anything about Ataris. I'm the wrong person to talk about this.
Yeah,
these are slightly weird in so much as the Junior with the Black Flash is.
Weren't they only made in Ireland?
Exactly.
Hey, I knew something.
Spot on. Who knew? You know, an Irish exclusive.
I got an Irish
Woody,
exclusive. PS2 games.
Atari Lynx, all of that jazz.
I don't think I've ever seen this many fully boxed Atari games in one place.
Yeah, we got share loads. I mean, they tend to be pretty low value. Some of them are pretty cool. You know, Pac-Man gets slated. I'm quite fond of that. I think it's cute and enjoyable. Yeah, there's tons and tons of stuff.
So, you got more of it down there. More Atari 2600.
I do. That's your, you know, Vader machine, the one with the black fascia rather than the wood grain effect.
Facade.
Yes.
I'm translating.
Very good.
Yeah.
Very good. Atari Jaguar.
Jaguar. Again. You guys always get on us about that one. Jaguar. Anytime I say Jaguar, there's always a British person in the comments. Jaguar.
Well, that's
sorry. It's just weird. It's one of the few words where
because they're right.
No, it's interesting. There's always a couple, like, generally the accent is different. There's different words, but there's a couple trigger words where people are just like, no, not that one. You can't take that one.
G2 Bruticus, nice. I'm an old school Transformers fan. Fun fact. So what we got more? It looks like DVDs.
Yeah, we get tons of anime DVDs and stuff. To be honest, I need to sort those out and actually put them on sale. But you know, there's only so many shelves you have. Graphic novels, old school, vintage video game magazines. We do a lot of Edge, a lot of Super Play, a lot of like every other video game magazine. But it's Edge and Super Play and Retro Gamer that people actually buy. The rest is just mood music, PS1 games, of course.
Nice. And it's not all the gray ones, the platinum hits or whatever. I'm just saying it looks good on the shelf.
We're seeing more and more Sony collectors these days. That was never a thing. Last time you came here, that would never have happened. These days, PS1s are still common machines. As you can see behind the DVDs, there are a great many. We have a great many more out back. They are a very commonplace machine, but we are starting to see more guys who want original machines and original boxes. I would never have thought there would be Sony collectors like that, particularly. That's quite a recent development then as well. Very much so, because obviously you can play the games on your PS2, on your PS3, so there isn't much demand for or there wasn't much demand for the original hardware. That is changing though. That is becoming, yeah, you know, things change, they evolve.
There's an EverDrive being made for the original PS1. That's probably part of the reason.
All right.
So you got PS2 stuff here.
We're going to ignore this because this is all my mess and all the crap I haven't organised. Lots of Mega Drives though, as always.
Well, we got some stuff here though.
We do.
Transformers. Yeah. Neo Geo Pocket.
A little bit of Wonder Swan as well.
Oh, Wonder Swan.
My Oasis.
Your beverage. And back there you got a bunch of, that is a lot of Model 1 Mega Drives.
At any given point, we have between 70 and 100 Mega Drives in stock. They sell very, very quickly. They just get traded in very, very quickly. As we were saying earlier, Super Nintendos technically should exist in similar numbers within Europe. People are that much more reluctant to trade in a Super Nintendo. People are very wedded to their Zeldas in America. So whereas we will see Mega Drives, if not daily, pretty close to it, we get a Super Nintendo maybe once a week, maybe once a fortnight.
A lot of cassettes.
Yeah, I only put out the cassette-based stuff recently. Normally, because we have so much of it, we don't tend to bother with it. But it has been much more popular than we would have thought. Obviously, it's your Spectrum stuff, your MSX, your Commodore 64, your Amstrad, Oric, all sorts of weird old school formats.
What is, I'm sorry, the Goosebumps thing? It looks like a Game Boy cartridge?
Yeah, it's a flyer for an Attack Pro Wrestling event that was Goosebump themed. Occasionally do video game themed ones. They are a local wrestling promotion that produced Mandrew's current TNA superstar over in the States with you guys.
I'm glad we could take
born and bred in Cardiff, man.
A lot of Master System. Looks good.
Yeah, again, much more popular over here than it was with you guys.
Yeah, we got robbed.
Yeah, you got to be careful because a lot of the games are PAL optimized, so they don't run so well on American systems.
That I've heard. Looks like you got some comics.
Tons of manga as always. The shop is always split, sort of 40% manga and Japanese toys, 60% video games, things like that. Lots of retro toys.
What you got up there?
Well. I don't know what you're looking at.
The computers?
Yeah, a few old school Ataris, an MSX, a few more VIC-20s.
Because a lot of that stuff we never got, so I'm not super familiar with it.
Yeah, well, as you'd imagine, we get a lot of it in, and we can only ever really put one of them on the shelf.
Right.
So we recondition them, we put one out. If that sells, we put the next one out.
So let's talk about some of these toys.
Well, boxed vintage Kenner Ata Orca with chin guns, working mechanics, working lights.
Now this is the stuff nostalgia's made of.
Oh, amazing.
I've probably given so many of these things to jumble sales in the past.
Well, don't we all?
Yeah.
No, Movie 3, Ninja Turtles, no Mikey, which, man, that will happen someday. We won't complete them all. Smattering of our Star Wars figures. We have a load of these, but some of the nicer ones go in the cabinets. These are Disneyland exclusive PVC figures from the sort of fallow period before Hasbro started manufacturing Star Wars in large production. Again, lots of Transformers, your Decepticon triple changes. Karate Kid figures, which, although they are oddly squat, have hyper-realistic, eerie head sculpts.
Can you make him wax on, wax off?
Of course you can.
Some Autobots. We got Cup, we got Hot Rod. I remember that. Unicron, and I wasn't following that series, so I'm not sure.
That is Cybertron that transforms into
literally.
Primus.
Okay.
Yeah, with like little Decepticon City Kaon and stuff like that sculpted on. Very, very cool. 12-inch C-3PO and R2-D2 to go with them.
So what do we got in this case here?
Kong Man. This is sadism incarnate. I'm familiar with Scrabble Scramble, as a lot of kids are as a child, which is an amazing mechanical game. Kong Man is a similar concept, but is so hard, it's painful. I mean, amazingly cool, but I remember it being fun as a child, not so much as an adult. Lots of Game Gear stuff. Of course, we reconditioned our Game Gears.
Wow, I've never seen those before. The Codebreaker carts, they're bigger.
Codemasters.
Oh, Codemasters, sorry.
Well, they always do. Whether it's the Mega Drive games or NES games, like EA, they have a different size of cartridge.
With Mega Drive, it made sense because they usually had those J carts with extra ports. This doesn't look like it has anything special about it. It's just weird.
Yeah, they just did their own thing. You know, they're one of those companies that worked out. I mean, these are the guys who did the Game Genies, so
that's
they are
true.
used to cracking machines and blackmailing companies to let them manufacture their own stuff.
A lot of cool games there. So more manga here, it looks like.
More manga, and we'll get to our
monitor
section in a second.
Oh, for sure. Very cool.
The monitors are an Amstrad CPC, which is essential to get the system to work, and an Atari ST, which is customized and modified for audio production.
Excellent.
And
some
figures
there.
Yeah, some of your Kotobukiya Bishoda statues and things like that. And we don't do many, but we do the characters we are particularly attached to, like She-Hulk and Batwoman and things like that.
I didn't realize how much Dreamcast you actually had here.
We always have a fair whack. Right now, there's a lot of it, and there are a few unusual titles.
You even have some of my countries.
We do
Look
indeed,
at this.
yeah.
Yeah, they got that in stock.
I mean, we got Super Magnetic Neo, which is slightly unusual, Gunbird 2, Gigawing,
What's this
Mr. Driller.
Cha-Cha Amigo? Is that a variant or?
No, that's
the third-party Lick-Sang version of
third-party Maraca.
yeah.
Right.
We do occasionally get the big box version, obviously, of Samba the Amigo. That's the crappy budget way of doing two-player.
Look at that. Super Mario Kart merch.
Yeah, vintage Super Mario Kart merch. Right.
The middle case here.
This is largely our Mega Drive and Sega hardware cabinet, a few large-scale figures on top.
You got a Pico going on there.
We do indeed have a Sega Pico. Boxed Mega CD1, a few different varieties of Mega Drive.
Beautiful thing.
As always at Mega Drives, we do differentiate between model, motherboard, all the usual jazz, which ones have the good audio chips, which ones have the bad audio chips. A few rarer Master System games in the cabinet there. Bits and pieces along those lines.
Very nice. Oh, you got some in cases there. That's funny. Anyway, go on. We have controllers, and it looks like... I don't think I've ever seen this Dreamcast light gun before. Was this only in Europe? The Thrustmaster?
What a name. Probably the better option is the official light gun. There's no two ways about it.
We never got that.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah, we never got it.
I mean, any Sega Dreamcast peripheral is always interesting, third party or otherwise. I mean, the fishing rods in particular, we didn't get the official one of those. We got the third party one, whereas you get the nice Sega one. But anything Dreamcast themed is great. Lots of GameCube. That wasn't really a big thing until Nintendo released that GameCube controller adapter for the Wii U and Smash Bros. Since then, GameCube has exploded, and all of a sudden it's become very, very popular again. So lots of usual stuff. The Zelda titles is always popular. Smash Bros. Mario Kart, all the usual jazz.
It's a nice little sense of humor you got there.
Jesus. You know, it's quite hard to get Dragon Ball merchandise in the UK. Licensing arrangements mean it's quite hard to import official stuff. We saw those with one of our wholesalers. We thought, man, this will be amazing. We've got to buy loads of these. And they turned up, and they are the worst thing in the world. But hey, we've got them.
So we got boxed. Oh, that's the racing controller, which is also down there.
Yeah,
we didn't get that, I don't think.
You're not missing out. I mean, generally...
Oh, I have one. I'm sad.
Steering wheel controllers are like kryptonite to video game stores. Like
they sit there forever.
Yeah, the bongos on GameCube. They're one of those peripherals that are very hard to shift, but the official Sega ones, the Saturn one, the Dreamcast one, we will carry those just because they are official Sega products.
Moho. That is a European Dreamcast exclusive right there.
Lots of
apparently
bits and pieces.
Yeah, the American prototype of that, which has a different name, did leak, but the official release only came out here. Very cool. Sealed copies, Japanese copies of Shenmue 1 and 2.
Yeah, I mean that's more common than you might think. It's one of those titles like European Jet Set Radio. Sealed copies of that turn up all the time. The market is somewhat oversaturated, but it's still a cool novelty, you know. Lots of Ultra Magnuses in the cabinet there.
There's more Saturn down there.
Yeah, that's Saturn Overspill.
Yeah.
Slave 1, complete with hand frozen and carbonite.
I just noticed you have the white GameCube.
Pearl white GameCube,
Nice.
which is the most luscious of GameCube variations.
We never got that one. That one was exclusive to Europe.
It's super cool.
Yeah. Japan got a bunch of cool weird ones, naturally. Big, what are those things?
Bunch of Carson Grayskulls and Fright Zones and Snake Mountains in the window. You know, He-Man, always cool.
You also have Serpent Terra.
Yeah.
See, I know my Mighty Morphin Power Rangers.
Yeah.
More toys, Millennium Falcon there. Nice. And then we got some, just more Transformers.
Hell yeah, yeah. We, I mean, the popular 80, we carry everything, Ghostbusters, Turtles, all that stuff, but Transformers are consistently popular. Transformers, Star Wars at the moment, that type of stuff, those are the kind of things that people are consistently interested in. The other stuff is good mood music, but doesn't necessarily always spike anyone's interest. Ewok Village, that took a Herculean effort to get into that cabinet, and it's never coming out again. We had to dismantle the thing to fit it in there.
It's like shipping a bottle type of thing.
Yeah, never. It's exactly like that. Never again is it coming out. Super Nintendo is always popular as always. Really, really great 16-bit powerhouse.
Very cool.
All your usual stuff. Your Secret of Mana, ActRaiser.
Any particular Super Nintendo titles you'd like to point out?
We've got R-Type 3 at the moment, the boxed PAL version, which is unusually rare and uncommon to see. Quite why that is, I don't know. It's on a lot of people's top 5 shooter lists.
Very nice.
I wouldn't necessarily agree with that myself. I'm not a great fan of the game, but it is legitimately rare. People do go nuts over it, and that's a cool thing to have, particularly with the box work, with the manual, and with all of that jazz as well.
Very cool. All right, well, final thoughts, guys. Ben, this is your first time ever to this store.
It is, yeah, I really like it. Nice selection of OGs, nice to see that.
Oh, that's right, I didn't even show it. I missed it. There's the OG Xbox. Very cool. Yeah. I may or may not have found something in there. May or may not, hint, hint.
That'd be my focus, but I can easily empty my bank account in here. Yeah, it's pretty sweet. Yeah.
All right, well, I want to thank you again for letting me film in here. It's always cool to do this stuff.
Always happy to see you.
Thank you.
It's just really cool, man.
It's not bad, yeah. All right, and thanks for Ben for joining.
Can I give a shout out to my favourite store in Holland? I've been doing a lot of travelling over there recently. There is a store in Amsterdam called Game Over. It is, I love what we do here, but it is the greatest video game store I have ever seen. You will never see so many games crammed into such a small space. If you like retro gaming, you have to visit it.
I'll have to trust him. I've never been there, but I'm sure it's awesome. So that's it, guys. Thank you very much, and we'll see you all later.
Yeah.
Now I'm just going to quickly show you guys the pickups I got there. Only got a few, but some cool stuff. Again, obviously all regional exclusive stuff I would never be able to get here. That's the kind of stuff I was looking for. First up is a game called Deadly Strike for the PS2. Don't really know much about it. It looks like a hack and slash RPG. I did check one little review. It basically said it was pretty good, but it was pretty short, so there you go. Impossible Mission. This actually caught my eye because I assumed, based on the name, it was one of these like crappy Phoenix games, you know, that terrible company I keep saying tries to rip off Disney. I thought they were trying to rip off Mission Impossible and, you know, make a game that would trick you into buying it thinking it was based on that movie franchise. But as it turns out, this is actually a remake of the Commodore 64 game. Now, I wasn't even aware there was a Commodore 64 game, and maybe that was a rip-off of Mission Impossible to begin with. I don't know. But either way, I picked that up. Then I got this one called The Gift, or just Gift, not The Gift, just Gift. Looks kind of cool, but I don't, you know, based on the screenshots, but those can be very misleading with a lot of PAL exclusives. Don't know much about it. One thing that really caught my eye, though, is it's not in a PAL case. It's in a North American case. And if you're thinking, well, maybe it just got swapped out, that occurred to me at first, but it has the European PlayStation stamp on the back, on the case itself, not on the paper. So this is actually the case that was released in Europe, which is kind of odd. Not a big deal, just strange, but there you go. Gift. And finally, I got a little bit lucky with the OG Xbox. Not much, but I did pick one up off the list. Sensible Soccer, 2006. Nothing particularly special, obviously, but very nice to get another one of the exclusives off the list. Because if I have to resort to eBay eventually to complete that set, there's nothing worse than buying pocket change sports titles and having to ship them across the ocean for vastly more than the games are worth.
So nice to get one of those off the list. So that's it for my pickups at Super Tomato in 2016. I want to thank Ben again for taking us out there, as well as his girlfriend. We'll just call her Mrs. Shenmuso. Again, I don't know if I'm allowed to say her name or not. And thank you to Tom for letting us stick around there, especially after closing and everything, just to hang out for a while. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you all later.